Probably did. You're right.
What is going on? It is the first heavy pour happy hour of 2026. And I got to tell you, 2026 can go ahead and start doing a little bit better than it is right now because all of our basketball
Can we have a
teams
redo?
suck. This is not great. Oh, what happened? T. There he is. What's up, dude?
You already know.
Yes. The 2026 basketball season, absolute ass to start off with. And I'm not about it.
Emphasis on the ass.
Yes. And all in all, including football, though, the Rando household is not happy with the collapse of Georgia. I watched that game, and then when we get today's performance with Kentucky basketball, which I don't know why I thought we were done with the whole like sucking in the first half and then hope to try to get back in the second half. I thought we had kind of gotten that out of our system. Clearly wrong about that one.
Yo, what up?
Hey, B, what's up, dude?
Nothing, man. Just trying to wrangle these kids.
You know, it happens. Here we go. Roll with that. Oops. Yeah, where you go? All right. So before we get into, we'll start with basketball before we get into transfer portal. AB, your game was yesterday. Something about those smart cats out there in Stanford just you don't do too good
took me out.
basketball. Let's go ahead and start with the Louisville Cardinals losing to the trees out there in.
Wait, y'all lost to Stanford?
It sure did. Yeah. Dude, I'm telling you. It's the same story as it's all three losses this year. I'm trying to pull up the box score right now. Yep, there was 22% from three, 6 for 27. We had 12 turnovers, most of which came in the first half. And then in the second half, we were down 1 at halftime, took the lead a couple times in the second half, but every time we made a clutch shot, Stanford came right back and made another one, and then ultimately they just pulled away. But you're looking at really the stat line I'm looking at right here is Ryan Conwell, 6 for 21 from the field. Of those 21 shots, 14 of them were from behind the arc. And every time he drove, good things happened. But, he did the same thing that he did against Tennessee, just kept jacking them up. They weren't falling. no adjustment to the game plan. And then, I mean, Kyle, you and I were kind of texting about this yesterday. I would really like to know what is going on with Michael Brown Jr. I really would. The kid's practicing all week long, was practicing all week long up until the last couple of games. And we got this mysterious lower back injury that's held him out for 4 straight games now. And I know old PK over there is saying he's not going to talk about injuries, but I can promise you if that kid is not suited up for Tuesday's game against Duke, there's going to be a whole lot of people that are not going to take that for a sufficient answer.
Yeah.
But again, dude, it's the same thing we were sitting here talking about against Tennessee. Is the same thing I've complained about in all 3 of our losses this year. It's like when the 3-pointers don't fall, there is no adjustment to the game plan. And it's super frustrating, especially with nobody seeming to want to take charge with Michael out.
Did he say was it just back tightness? What exactly is the injury? Do you not really know?
Dude, the only thing that I have been able to find in all of my digging is that it is some form of lower back injury that they just said he'll get out there for warm-ups for the game and they'll say he's feeling tight or whatever. But I mean, I think it was on, what is today? All these days are running together. Today's Saturday. So I think it was on Tuesday, either after Tuesday or Wednesday's practice. PK was saying, oh yeah, he's a full participant, because it was like him and Kobe Rogers hadn't been practicing because they were trying to get him healthy. And then it was like, oh no, they're both practicing. They're full participants. Like, we're good to go. And then, an hour before game time, nope, he's not there again. So I don't know, man. I don't like rumor mills, but at the same time, part of me can't help but think that, like, with this NIL money, that he's got somebody in his camp in his ear telling him, oh, well, don't play. You don't want to get hurt and then risk your lottery pick, So I don't know, man. It bothers me a little bit, but I'm trying not to be the cranky old guy.
Yeah. I mean, we've seen it. Sass knows. We got Shaden Sharpton. That dude's out there, putting on posters in the league, and we never saw him play once. And we could have used him in that game in the tournament. We lose. He's a difference maker. But when the league's calling and saying you're a lottery pick, you just never really know what you're going to get. And hopefully it's not. But yeah, he's got to be up against Duke. And PK's attitude towards people asking, I don't think he's normally a very happy-go-lucky guy, right? So him snapping these reports tells you something funky about it.
Yeah,
and he's frustrated. Yeah, clearly.
He's not a fan of FanDuel or DraftKings or pick your
gambling
sports betting company out there. He's not a gambling guy. He made that very clear early in the week. But yeah, man. I mean, everybody. I had very high hopes for this team, but we've shown now 3 times this year that again, if threes aren't falling, there's got to be some kind of front court production, which I think Fru's done a good job for us, especially the last couple of games. I mean, the dude's shooting, like, when he gets it, it's going in. And he gets it in the post. He's got to be shooting over 80%. I don't even know if he missed a shot the other day. And he's good on the boards. Rebounding wasn't really a problem. It just, we flat out did not hit shots when we need to hit shots. And most of it was due to the fact that we just kept jacking up threes instead of driving.
Yeah, especially we talk about it on the road. That's not a great recipe. Not a recipe because every single one of those shots, as they miss, that rim gets tighter and tighter. Then that opposing fan base getting louder and louder, and it just makes it tough.
Yeah, but the thing is, it was Stanford, so it's not like you're in a hostile environment.
Hey, them kids rowdy out there, man.
Like,
you're rowdy.
Dude, they were showing shots of the stands. It might have been a sixth full. It was not like it was a hostile environment, which makes it even worse because we got to go to Duke here in a couple of weeks.
Yep.
And you get behind there, and that's you do not want that. That's terrible. So.
Yeah, they got one of the most obnoxious fan bases in college basketball, and they let them surround the court. So you got dudes sitting there touching the back of your neck as you're trying to inbound the basketball.
I'll give you this one last stat line, and I'll get off my horse here. So we shot we had 60 field goal attempts, right? 27 of those were 3. So
Right.
math in public,
That's
right?
33.
That's 33 2-point attempts. We shot a total of 26 of 60 from the field. So that means 26 of 33 when we did not put up threes, which is pretty good. So my question is, why the hell didn't we adjust the game plan when we clearly were able to produce when we did not shoot from behind the 3-point arc? That's it. I'm off my high horse now.
Yeah, well, we'll transition to Kentucky, and I went on my little rant on the rando recap. Celine, I'll let you go first. But if you want to talk about 3-point shots, if you want to fix your ability to not make 3-point shots, just go ahead and play Kentucky because we're going to give you some wide open threes. It's absolutely embarrassing. A game where you had already been. You done seen it already. We play Louisville. They're going to jack up 35 threes. One guy just absolutely tears you up because you give him open shots. And then as the game goes on, he sees an ocean that he's throwing the ball into. And it doesn't matter where he shoots it from. It could be the logo because the thing's going in because we let him get into a rhythm. It was like we didn't know who we were getting ready to play, Selena. But just go ahead and just throw it out there. Your floor is yours on your disgust on what you saw in an embarrassing performance in Tuscaloosa by the Mark Pope Wildcats.
Where do I start? Where do I start with this, right? So came out the gate, scored 5 points, cool, and then forgot to play, right? We forgot how to play basketball. We don't pass the ball whatsoever. We cannot guard a pick and roll to save our lives. Like, we can't make a shot to save our lives. Our bigs are pretty much non-existent. And Owe showed up second half, but it was too late. J-Lo showed up, and he's the only one that can play because of, like, the whole game. This game is a train wreck. It's an absolute train wreck. I do not understand what they do in practice every day, because if this is how they practice and Pope is happy, then Pope needs to reevaluate because this is awful. And you're supposed to practice how you play, so that does not give me a lot of hope in really anything at this point. And as Nate Oates said, just watch them, they don't pass the ball. Like, he literally called out the assist. Like, if I'm a head coach and another coach says that, I am pissed. Like, those boys are spending their practice running until they cannot move. And then we're going to figure out how to pass the ball. If that means go back to basics, that's what we're doing. Because you cannot have another head coach call you out like that and it be so true you can't say anything at all back. Like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, 9 assists a game. This is how bad it was. Nate Oates, I don't know if y'all saw the press conference. Nate Oates told his staff over the break to pull every single one of Kentucky's assists. And they were able to do it because we have so few. And he called us out and was like, we had some high assist games. But he goes, if you go look at it, they're all against these mid-major, not great programs. Any of the top teams Kentucky played, they couldn't move the ball. And he was able to call out stats, legit numbers on, hey, when the ball goes into the post, Malachi Moreno has, 4 assists on the season from the post. Like, the ball's hitting the paint through the bigs, but the front court does not know how to pass the ball out and create space and shots.
Our guards don't either, though.
No, they don't. But I just don't. I don't understand.
I watched Aberdeen dribble and always clapping his hands, and he just throws up some crazy ass shot. And I'm like, what are we doing? Like, what are we actually doing? Like, always literally, you would hear him clapping on the freaking TV, and he just dribbled into like a 3-person trap and threw up a wild shot.
Yeah, and a floater, some nasty floater that has got no chance, not even like trying to create contact at the rim. Early on, he showed the ability to get to the bucket, but again, that might have just been lesser contact because he is getting downhill and then failing to play through contact and coming up short when we need him to be aggressive and at minimum try to get to the free throw line. But yeah, there was zero flow to the offense in the first half. I don't know. Selena, you and I were big on the potential of Colin Chandler. and he flashed early on playing teams that we were supposed to beat. But in these games where he's got to try to defend, elite college or just not even elite, good college guards, he sucks. I mean, he seems disinterested. Even when he wants to try to defend, he can at least, step in and do a serviceable job. But a lot of these threes, especially by Holloway early, were just because he's lazy, closing out with his hands down, just not fighting through screens, just deciding to not stay in the airspace of a shooter. And the fact that he continues to get chances to play for Pope, I understand it was his dude coming from BYU, and he's supposed to have potential. What was he, the 13th overall prospect in his recruiting class? But if he ain't scoring, he certainly can't defend. And if you're going to bench Brandon Garrison and some of these dudes for effort, I don't know how you watch that film and go, oh yeah, he deserves to be a starter against Missouri next week. Ain't no damn way. He was absolutely terrible. Yeah. And every time he came on the court is when, we would get within 10 in the second half, he would come out there and they would cash another three on him, whether it was Phylon or it was Holloway or it was 95, I forget his name. Anytime they saw Colin Chandler switch on him, their eyes got big and was like, I'm going to cook this dude because he's just he ain't it. He's just not it. He needs to be a 6 or 7 man off the bench. Certainly doesn't mean that starting lineup.
Yeah,
that hurts my heart because.
Go ahead, Selena.
Go ahead.
I was just saying My bad. I was telling Kyle when we were texting earlier, I was like, man, and you saw it too, Selena, because it was in a group chat. It's just like I was watching, and outside of the first, 5-6 minutes of that game, they don't. I love Mark. I believe in Mark Pope, but I'm starting to lose a little faith because they don't look interested in putting in the effort that is required to win basketball games. They really don't. I just don't see the buy-in there. And maybe it's because they're frustrated because, the record's not where they want it to be, and they've lost a lot of games against, the higher quality opponents, but they just do not look like they have any buy-in to what is going on right now.
When you say they, I think it's I watch Ortega flip a switch in this game, and with 5 minutes left to go in the first half, and he was single-handedly kept us within, with having a puncher's chance in this game. Jalen Lowe comes in there, and those two on the floor together, whether it's Zell as the other guard, Cam coming in there with Mo Diabata. I don't know, Selena. I feel like you see a team with the right lineup in a 7-8 man rotation that can be competitive. Unfortunately, I don't think we're as deep as we thought we were, and there's too much Coach Pope, Mr. Nice Guy out there. I need more of the dude who just benched Brandon Garrison for over half a game. Tell him he's embarrassed watching him play basketball. That same energy needs to be on every single player. We can't just pick and choose which ones we're going to do that to.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree. Look.
I know we want Colin Chandler to be good, right? That's what the struggle is.
Yeah, I've been a Colin Chandler fan for forever, right? I've been screaming on the rooftops. I don't know if he's in his head or what, because last year he could at least defend, right? Last year he could defend. We watched him against Tennessee a couple times last year. We watched him against Duke. He could at least defend somebody. And this year he's up there doing cardio and throwing up some threes.
Yeah. And if you go back and watch, he on ball defense, he's not great. He'll never be great. He's he's an explosive dude. We've seen him incredible dunks and the Big Blue Madness but he's not super quick. I think he's I don't know. He's athletic as hell, but it's just for some reason it doesn't seem to translate with his lateral speed. He can get beat, but at least will play.
he doesn't know how to read a pick and roll. Like that's what annoys me. Because it's not his quickness. It's like you're guarding a dude that shot 5 threes already, and you go under a screen and then you stand there. Like, huh?
Or like the out of bounds play where he just sit and he just standing like behind the 3-point line. Like you have to defend these guys. You know, you got to push them out 26, 28 feet just to try to keep them from pulling that shot. But yeah, I don't. It was just frustrating. I was texting Hammer yesterday. I was like, "Hey, you know, how does your gambling model and you know how do you think this game plays out? Does Kentucky have a shot?" And he was like, "No." And I was like, "I don't feel like they do either." It was straight up like the math says they're not going to do well, and I was like, my gut says we're not going to do well because these layoffs. You know, if you have 7-10 days, you know, Pope just hasn't been able to consistently get a team up and ready to play. And it's frustrating, and we have the ability to go on a string of wins after the Missouri up until we have to play Tennessee and Knoxville, and that game is going to be. We do, yeah. I mean, if you look at who we're playing, like if you look at who we're playing teams that while they're in the SEC aren't super talented, right? We're playing Missouri.
Rando, we barely beat Bellarmine, it seemed like, okay? Like, I don't have faith in these teams playing SEC teams right now. I'm sorry.
Like, we beat Bellarmine by, like, I mean, we dropped 100 on them. I don't.
Right, but I'm saying they should have scored. They scored, and they should have been that close in the first place. And, like, here's my problem. We didn't play a game for 10 days. 10 days, right?
Yeah.
Why wasn't this team more prepared? Why weren't they more gelled? Why did the starting lineup change? Like, you have 10 days, minus Christmas. I got that. Christmas, okay, cool. Go spend your families. But you have, say, 8 days to get a team that is missing 2 players that are fully healthy now to come back, and you put whatever that was on the floor. Vic, I swear to God.
and I have very much been a, you know, like AB was talking about, like I believe in Pope, and that hasn't diminished, or it's diminished. It hasn't completely gone away, but it is diminishing because the Ole Miss game last year where we showed up and was like a game we should have won against a lesser talented team, and that just no one even got off the bus. They looked like they didn't even want to be out there playing basketball. Pope is in there breaking stuff at halftime because of how terrible everybody looked. This game here, there was zero excuse for it. Like I said, we had the ability to go back and look at the Louisville game and say, this is a team that's going to chuck up threes. This is how we have to defend it, right? They don't play exactly the same, but it's very similar. You have to pick these dudes up at half court. We started the game off in a 1-3-1 press or what was it? 1-3-1, whatever the hell. I'm fucking math in public again. Jesus.
I think it's a 1-2-2, something like that, yeah.
Whatever equals 5. We were in a freaking press, okay? And we got a turnover right off the jump, and then we never saw it again. Like, so do something. Oh my God, I was so incredibly frustrated with Pope and his ability to control this team in this game. It was the one time so far where even though we've questioned Pope, it's and rightfully so with how we've started off some of these games. This is the first time I was starting to believe like this dude might not have it, man. This dude might not have it. At least consistently. Like we can't pick and choose which games we're going to, show up and coach for. Just like the players can't choose which games they're going to show up and play for. And it may just be Nate Oates just has Pope's number, similar to Cal. Bruce Pearl always had good teams. Cal just always had his number. Like even when they were, higher ranked or more talented, Cal was going to bring Bruce Pearl. Maybe that's what it is, but it ain't good enough. It ain't good enough, and it's pissing me off. And it truly is making me it truly is making me believe that this team I can't say won't make the tournament, but this could be a first round knockout team. And at that point, I don't know how Pope recovers in the offseason. I don't want to get there yet, but it's that feeling, that vibe is getting there.
So here's the issue is St. John's not great, right?
No.
They
can't score. Win. They can't score. They're physical. They can't score.
Indiana is now considered a Q2. As of this moment, I don't think we have any Q1 wins. We've lost every Q1 game we have because we cannot. If they're good, we suck. I don't know what it is. We're terrible. And then we have no Q3 games, I don't believe, and then all Q4. Our schedule's either cupcakes or Q1. And
St. John's isn't a quad one win anymore?
But I don't think they won't be probably because they lost Providence today.
Yeah.
They lost today too?
They lost today too, yeah. They're rapidly
Providence?
falling out.
So we're not going to have any quad 1 wins because Indiana's quad 2 now too. So our schedule is not stacked in favor of us making the tournament, and if we keep playing like this, because we cannot beat teams that are in Q1. Like, we can't. Like, right now, I think we're a 7 seed, and that was before this game. Like, if we keep playing this, we're in danger of not even making the tournament, not even sniffing the tournament, which is disgusting to say.
Yeah, protecting Rupp Arena is going to be very, very important. I don't think a win on the road against Bama would have been a massive jump for the resume. I personally don't think that's a massive hit to the resume for not getting the win, but we cannot lose games in Rupp Arena, especially when I just talked about like Missouri coming to town, like these games. When we go to LSU, we got to win that game to get a road win. Like these ones that are gettable, you got to get. And then you got to hope that you can get a win on the road. You know, like we'll talk about it. I don't know. Tennessee's just going to be a slugfest of who's going to play the best basketball in that moment, right? And you got to give the nod to the home crowd. So like when we go to Knoxville, you know, I would imagine they're going to be favored, and they should be. And you know, they have a coach that I don't know, trust a little bit more than Pope to be more consistent, at least know what his style of basketball is going to be. But we'll get there. But Tennessee had a game today against Arkansas, which is a very, very talented team. Cal's got himself a squad out there. Darius Acuff is legit. But we'll bring the Tennessee guys in here to talk about their loss today, because we might as well share this misery.
Sharing the misery.
Collectively. What did you see today, boys, in the Rick Barnes, Coach Cal battle?
I saw us go 10 for 21 from the free throw line.
Yeesh.
And I saw us turn the ball 14, 15 times. That's all you need to know as to what happened in that game. And this team is soft as hell.
Buddy, I feel that. I watched our entire front court get absolutely demolished by a third-string center who transferred from where? Not Harvard. I think it was Ivy League school or something like that. It was one. And he's a 7-footer, but I mean, good grief, the dude just absolutely abused every center we sent to him. But sorry, this is the Tennessee portion of the show. I'll stop bitching. Go ahead.
Part of that's true. It is the Tennessee portion of the show.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, so like, was it the same story of Nate Ament just not being able to play physical against a pretty tough Arkansas team and relying too much on Gillespie?
I think Nate is. I'm not going to say he's overrated, but I think he got oversold.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think he's as far in his development. And me sitting here right now, and I hadn't said this publicly to just some inner circle folks, he's not a draft pick this year. So I hope that's not the expectation that his camp has, that he's going to come in, spend 1 year, and then go to the league, because he's not. What he's putting on for NBA scouts right now is he's soft. He has trouble getting to his spot. He panics, and he's not consistent. And that's not going to work. That's not going to work for NBA GMs. So I'll say this, dude. I think he needs to sit. I don't think he needs to be in the starting lineup.
Oof.
I think we need to go with Akpara. And golly,
Carey at the 4.
Stupid. Oh yeah, definitely Carey. I don't know. I almost want to see Estrella. I almost want to see Estrella and Akpara on the floor at the same time to start the game. With Carey, and go big, because that's right now. That's what we are. We're a team of bigs. Losing Cade Phillips, of course, hurt. our depth. But Brown is capable of playing the 4 as well. So I would almost rather see us go big with those guys, obviously Gillespie and either Evans or Boswell. Evans, I thought, played really well today. I think we got to mix it up a little bit. I don't think Nate needs to start. I think he needs to sit and come off the bench on the first rotation.
Yeah, Hammer, dude. Just a question or T either way. Like, I didn't get to watch that game. I'm looking at the stat line. That was the first thing that jumped out at me was the 52% from the free throw line for y'all. And I'm looking at 33 made field goals or free throws rather for Arkansas, or 33 attempted, 29 made. And was it just poor defense? Like, I mean, I know from watching the Louisville game against Arkansas that their backcourt is talented. Obviously, like Kickoff is a problem for pretty much anybody. But I mean, y'all hang your hat a lot of times on defense, and sending somebody to the line 33 times does not seem to me a typical Tennessee basketball game.
No, there was much.
We hang our hat on defensive intensity, which we still have. I've said it on another show. We just don't have the defensive talent that we don't have Zakai Ziegler and Meshack on the perimeter anymore. So, Gillespie in particular, he gives you the effort. He is not a defensive weakness. He kind of makes up for it because he gambles a lot. Boswell is he's a strong on-ball defender, but other than that, like, the effort is there. We just don't have the defensive we've had the last 4 years with Guy on the ball and Meshack on the ball, and then Yves Pons on the ball before that, and Triple J and all that kind of stuff. So I just don't. We have the defensive talent that you can tell the philosophy and effort is there, like you mentioned. Just fouling people because we can't keep up the way we used to be able to.
Yeah, on-ball defense is terrible outside of Gillespie, and actually Felix Okpara doesn't get enough credit for his perimeter defense. For his size, he can get out there, but I mean everybody else, we're chasing them.
Yeah,
and that's not going to work. We got spoiled with Zakai and Jemai. And even Jordan Gainey. Jordan Gainey was a decent on-ball defender who could also score, and that's the other problem. We don't have anybody outside of Gillespie that can create their own shot.
Yeah, that becomes an issue.
We're gonna have to mix this up. I mean, seriously, we're gonna have to change up. I think this lineup. I think Ament is gonna have to come off the bench, maybe get his head a little more clear, because he is absolutely coming into the season. He is absolutely tanking his season and his future for what I think he expected and what we thought we were going to get when he came into this season.
I think everybody expected it, because I mean, we saw the recruiting battle that happened.
Oh yeah,
sure. It was us, it was Duke, it was y'all, and it went down to the wire, and he's holding out and this, that, and the third, and waiting for big money. Everybody thought I expected him to be better than 13 points on 4-9 shooting from the field, and that's about what you get. That's about what you get every game from him, from what I've seen anyway.
Yeah, he hasn't
system matters.
Game.
And
system
Shaq told him,
you're right.
Shaq told him, go be a dude. Go to Tennessee and be the dude. The problem is he ain't built to be the dude.
Nope.
He's built to go to somewhere like Louisville, where you're playing out and he can have a lot of space and not have to be like in a tight court with a lot of contact, right? And I'm saying it after watching Kentucky play with got a lot of dudes like that too, right? We got Otega Owe who can play through contact, and Jalen Lowe who is quick enough to get by and make some things happen in a very tight court that isn't spread out. But that's it. Everybody else, they don't know what to do. You look at Zell. System matters. Zell would come off the bench and have a team in Florida last year that was spread out. A lot of dudes can shoot. Walter Clayton Jr. Guys who could really, really shoot it up from the three, or just make buckets and have a lot of gravity pull towards them. So then Zell was kind of left out there one-on-one and can do things. Now there's a lot of focus on him, and in a system that unfortunately we don't have a lot of 3-point shooters, and he's struggling. I think if Nate Ament would have gone to a program and would have been a piece, then the NBA looks at him as like, oh, now look at the potential. Like I can get him in because that's what they draft off of now. Potential, not really results.
Yeah.
We can do something. Nate Ament went to Tennessee to get Coach Hunter Barnes, and in the long run, that might do something for him. But I agree with you, Hammer. That's maybe next year. Like if he goes to the draft now and plays in the league, someone is taking a lot of risk on just hoping he can get to the potential that we thought he was going to have, and not because he's out there showing that he's ready to play.
Juice over here. I don't know, man. I think Jacoby is. I disagree with you. I think Jacoby is a number one option. I don't think Jacoby has the pieces around him that he needs to really. I mean, the dude's averaging almost 18 points a game. Like, it's not like he can't create his own shot. To Hammer's point, like he's the one guy that you can look to be like, hey, I need you to go get a bucket, and he's going to do it. But I don't. To Hammer's point and to T's point, you don't have a guy like Zakai out there who's going to facilitate and who's going to give you that energy on the defensive end, get the turnover, get you out in the open court, and give you other options other than having to have Gillespie go and get it himself. And yeah, I think to y'all's point, like, people were expecting Ament to be able to go get a shot and take some of that burden off, and he clearly has not been that this year.
No, he's not.
That is 100% been the issue. And Hammer and I have been texting about this all season. Like Jacoby he's got like a Zakai like burden placed on him, except he's got to do all the scoring too. So he's got to run the show, facilitate for everybody, but then nobody can really capitalize facilitation. So then he has to score, and he plays for Barnes. So you still got to give defensive effort. I mean, he's going to get – he played 35 minutes again tonight. He's probably averaging 34 minutes a night. Based off of what our team construction is, I would like to see it switched up as well, like Hammer said. I want to see Carey and Estrella. Unless this is something about Estrella's injuries and stuff, it makes no sense for him to play 10 minutes. It is entirely too – and you want to talk about somebody who can score some points, it's him. Like we can feed him the rock, and he can go score. So it just makes no sense to me why he only played 10 minutes, and then Akpara plays 31 minutes. The basket, he lays it up and gets his mess swallowed instead of dunking the ball. So to Hammer's point about us being soft, Akpara, it's weird. Like parts of his game seems to have elevated. His defensive timing looks a little better. His perimeter defense is good. Offense regressed, and his mentality is not there. He's got to go dunk it. But either way, I'd rather see Estrella, who's our most skilled big man, and then Carey get bench. You can get something off that. Change himself 23 minutes today. We'll see if he can continue that. But I liked what we saw from him. Bishop, because he's our best perimeter defender, and he's just solid. Like he won't beat you. I don't think he's gonna win anything for you, but he won't beat you. He gives you but Mint saw Mike mentioned it. Like we all know Mint has the talent and the skill. I think he can see like a science or something. He had misses a shot or two. And then he also had a 10-second violation and a 5-second violation. So just like there are some mental aspects to the game that he's still got to catch up on playing it real time in college, vice high school. And then obviously, to your credit, Rando, you called this before the season started that him being slight was going to be a problem for him. And then he's clearly bigger than he was when he was in Tennessee. Like you can tell he put on weight, but it hasn't mattered. So until Nate can get his head right, I text Hammer at the end of the game. Nate's still looking on working on getting to a spot and getting comfortable doing that, things will look better. But yeah, right now he's struggling. And what's up, Juice?
Yeah,
I agree.
It's
not starting.
It's one thing to have size or not have size. It's just the ability to use it, right? And I think Malachi Moreno for Kentucky is going to be super talented. But again, he needs some time. He needs at least one more year because he's a bigger body and he is strong, but he didn't know how to use it, right? Like you got to be able to use that weight. And if you're going to be in the gym and get big, you got to be able to throw it around, right? Or if you are slight, you can still play bigger, right? You can it's a base and as you guys were talking, I'm sitting here going through our roster, and this is like blasphemy. But if you put Rick Barnes with this Kentucky roster right now, you would be talking about a Final Four contender. You give Rick Barnes Jaden Quaitons, you give Rick Barnes Malachi Moreno. He wouldn't play Brandon Garrison because he's too soft. You give him Otega Owe, Jalen Lowe, Mo Diabata. Like you give him all these tools, and he's only going to play 7 or 8 man rotation. I think Kentucky has naturally more talent than Tennessee, and maybe it's just bias, but I think if you just look at what we have, there's more, especially offensive talent. He would make them play defense, and they'd be able to score the ball. I think Rick Barnes could do something special that Coach Pope, I don't know that he can, or at least he hasn't shown that he can with this Kentucky roster.
Well, we've been telling you that for 2 years, but I'm glad you're finally coming around to
Yeah.
that. Hey, let me just throw this out there because I know there's going to be a million comments about this probably here, Twitter, and throughout the course of the week until we play and maybe win a game. I think what I would like to see is to start and end both halves, whatever that rotation time magic number is, to start and end both halves with Okpara, rim protector, Estrella, the post anchor. Play Carey, go big in the front court because he can do it all. He's a bully. And he knows how to use his 265 pounds. I guarantee you that. And then, of course, Gillespie, Boswell. And start and end each half with that lineup, whether it's 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 7 minutes, whatever that looks like, and establish, some dictate the tempo. This is how this game's going to go. We're going to bully you, but if we're turning the ball over 15 times – and we're shooting under 50% from the free throw line, it doesn't matter who you put out there.
Yeah.
You're not going to beat anybody. So we'll have to see. But I think the Ament piece, though, I think that's got to be addressed.
Mm-hmm.
And I think right now the best thing to do for that young man is to start him out as a spectator and then work him in and see what combination of players maybe helps him. I don't know. T, what do you think? I mean, as far as his game and what we have in the backcourt, what do you think is the best combination on the floor for him to be able to maybe?
I like how we start him. I think he's been in position to be successful.
Do you think he's a true?
Say that again.
Do you think he's a true wing player, though?
Yes, yeah, that's his style. I like he wants to operate like free throw line extended, and he wants to like do some kind of little over, get to the free throw line and get a jumper up like Kawhi likes to do. Like that's what I see him try to get to. Obviously he's just not as good as it right now. I think he should start. I just don't think he should play 32 minutes. Like you can start him, but then, hey dog, you get 4 minutes or something. And then we actually we got to get Evans out there or something.
Yeah. Evans. And I think Carey and Brown can kind of rotate in and out because Brown's actually played pretty well, but I mean, he's only getting 15,
Yeah. And because all the minutes are going to Okpara, which I don't understand why he gets 31 minutes and Brown, Estrella, and Carey get 16, 10, and 16. That
Estrella
part
getting
doesn't
10
make
minutes,
sense.
that is criminal. Unless he's hurt, to my knowledge, he's not. He's coming off the injury and should be getting more minutes, not less. So unless he's injured, we don't know it. It is criminal, egregious that he's getting 10 minutes. He's our best big.
Yes, he is. And I'm bothered by that. And it scares me that we're going to lose him after this year because he's going to be like, all right, dog, like, you want to play me 10 minutes? I'm going to go somewhere and play 30 minutes a game and average 18 a game and go to the league.
Yeah, and I think to your point though, Hammer, I think if we get into this discussion about now you're cutting Ament's playing time, I agree with you right now that at his level of play, he is not even going to sniff the draft prospect that he thought he was going to be, and I think everybody around him thought he was going to be. But then you get into and you have to make a decision, right? It's like, all right, well, are we going to do what's best for trying to keep Nate Ament around, or are we going to do what's best for Tennessee basketball this year? And if that is he's not playing as much, and you run the risk then of losing him, next year or whatever he wants to do. If the guy wants to go hang out in the G League, then good for him. But I would hope that his camp would have enough sense to say, hey, brother, like maybe we stick around for another year to try and put some meat on the bone and get you to where we thought we were going to be. But it's this new age of NIL money, man. Like somebody somewhere is gonna be in his camp's ear about, hey, we'll give you the money you want. You come over here and we'll give you the playing time you want. You'll be the guy and whatever. And that's just where we're at with college basketball. But again, Barnes got to make a decision. It's like, we spend a lot of money on this guy, but is he what is going to give us the best chance to win? Because at the end of the day, that's how Barnes is going to keep his job. So,
I don't give a shit how much money we're paying him. If he can't score, he can't do what he's getting paid to do.
I'm with you. I'm 100%. I'm not arguing your point. I think your point is absolutely correct. I'm just saying that this is the alternate reality that we find ourselves in the new NIL age of
I wouldn't be
sports.
surprised if he still went to the draft after this season. Like if he gets a first round grade, I don't see why.
Yeah, but I'm saying
I would.
No way,
saying,
homie.
I love Reese Shepard. He was not the third best player in the draft, right? I just like it. You know what I'm saying?
You're
Like
right.
he's doing great. I wouldn't be surprised if someone somewhere says I get him, because look at Juice's comment. Like I agree that's because how he's going to be used. The problem is he ain't Kevin Durant,
but he's not producing. You're
Right,
using him the way he's meant to be using. He's not producing.
Exactly.
Right.
Period.
Reed Shepard
remember Olivier Sarr back in the day?
In the draft because he can do what the NBA wants, and that's
because he's a fucking 50% 3-point shooter.
Exactly.
The dude just like
he's JJ Redick reincarnated.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Well, all right.
He is not a dookie. All right, that boy is from Kentucky. He ain't. Come on now. He wouldn't be putting up with LeBron's trash right now in LA. All right, don't give me that.
Hey, Braden, Utah has the highest net ranking of those three teams. Louisville, oddly enough, is the highest of the group here. But Utah State of the three has the highest net ranking. So
he put that in there because he's a Utah State fan. He knew that answer already.
Louisville is 14th. Utah State is 19th. So
But we're only 14th. We're only 14th because we've been averaging friggin' 90 points a game. But we see what happens when we don't score 90 points a game. We go on the road and we lose.
Well, it's the road. I mean, we know that. But you lost to Stanford?
Yeah, trust me, brother. I watched the whole game. I've dedicated myself to watching the entirety of these basketball games. I have a bad habit of when things start going south, I'm like, I can't watch this. It's pissing me off. I'm changing the channel. And I've decided I'm not going to do that this year, but apparently I need to start turning it off and see if maybe something better happens. It's like, I don't mean to jump. I'm going to jump back on the high horse here, but y'all are talking about, hey, Gillespie's like your only guy that can get a bucket. We have dudes that can go out there and produce their own shot. Friggin' Adrian Woolley, who we, for whatever reason, when Michael Brown has been out for these last 4 games, have refused to put him in the starting lineup. And all that dude does is go out and drop 15 to 20 points every game, and he can get his own shot. And he is the guy. And I said it before we went on the road and lost to y'all. I wanted to see him go out and run the offense. And when he did, good things happened. And when he didn't, bad things happened. And this is the same thing that has occurred over the last couple of games. We're high on Rodgers, and Rodgers is pretty good too, but he's a Pat Kelsey product out of Charleston. But Adrian Woolley, man, like I forget what conference he came from, but he was the player of the year there last year. And the dude is a legitimate point guard that can go get you a bucket and a facilitator at the same time. We refuse to give him the minutes that I think he deserves, especially with Michael Brown out. So, I think we're all five sitting here just like, why can't these coaches make a freaking adjustment to a lineup and maybe win a game? But here we are nonetheless. Always okay.
Juice,
all right. Juice. Look, this was going to be my point about.
He dropped 22. Go ahead.
Go ahead. When we were talking about lottery picks, right? And to your point, Kyle, I'll ask you this question. You're saying that right now, right? You're talking about Ament going to the draft. With his lack of ability to defend because of his lack of physicality, he shot 50% from the free throw line today. His lack of production on the offense. You telling me right now today that you would take his draft prospects over Otega Oweh and his production last year? Like if we were going to bounce those two together, who would we say had the better draft prospect? And you see where Otega Oweh is at right now. He's back playing basketball at Kentucky.
Yes. So we've all been out here, and I think I've probably had the most conversations about this with T, is I truly do not understand how the NBA drafts now. I don't. They all look at potential, and like if you're like Dalton Connect should have been a guy drafted to a team that needed a bucket scorer who thought they were like going to be a playoff team in the future with one key piece.
Yep.
He got drafted like 24, was LeBron James playing at 41 and is like in his like he won't see a second contract. Like I do not understand. Again, Otega Oweh, his hitch and his jump shot, it scares people away, so like the game being extended out to 26 feet, I think affects him. But if you're playing a 5 out and you give Oweh time, he can hit that shot. But if you're asking me what I think the NBA would do, not what I would do, but what I think the NBA would do is look at what Nate Ament has in being 7 foot and can make an open shot and can do that. I would see them giving him a chance to go to the going to the G League for a year and then coming back and being special. I do think there would be a team that would give him a first-round pick. But now that being said, with NIL right now, there's no reason for him to leave, because if he can come back and turn himself into a lottery pick, then that's massive. There's a huge difference than first round to lottery pick. But again, it really depends on what his goal is and what Shaq and family and whatnot are telling him to do, what Reebok wants him to do. But yeah, I mean, Oweh's game, unfortunately, is just limited to his ability to get downhill. But my bad, T. Go ahead.
Braden in the comments right now is killing me.
All accounts about Nate is that his camp is pretty sound. They're encouraging Rick Barnes to coach him hard and accept the coaching and all that stuff.
He picked Tennessee.
Say what?
He picked Tennessee. I don't know how sound his family is, but
he's being an asshole right now.
Yeah, I'm not especially right now.
Right?
Yeah. Oh, worry about that. But I was thinking about something you said earlier, Black. I was you talking about, does he leave, does he stay, or whatever. I compared a lot to Nico, where I didn't want Nico to leave, but him leaving didn't concern me enough because his performance wasn't there yet. That's where I'm at with Ament. Like, I wouldn't want Ament to leave, but I'm not freaking out if he does now, because he's not producing anything for us for me to be, man, this is a big hit. I would love to see him stay and develop, because the potential for what he could turn into under Barnes, great, but the NBA continues to draft off potential, just like Rando said. So I I don't know what GM would give him a shot right now, but somebody will, and it blows my mind because as a Tennessee fan, there is nothing I see in him that would that would make me want him on my team if I'm an NBA GM.
Yeah, there's absolutely no reason right now that he should be even considered for the NBA.
Yeah. I haven't looked at recent draft boards. He might have fallen off. I just, in my mind, I think he would still at least be a first round grade simply off potential and what his body is and his where he came in to as a high school prospect. But I don't disagree with what you're saying. Is I especially college basketball, I want proven.
Yep.
Selena, you remember who we got instead? Like Dalton Connect was someone that Kentucky was chasing after to either replace or pair with Reeves. And instead of Dalton Connect, Cal went with Justin Edwards, flipped him from Tennessee to Kentucky. And he had a great game against Tennessee. That was the only great game he had. I would have much rather had the proven thing from Colorado State and Dalton Connect.
Northern Colorado.
Northern Colorado is what I meant to say.
Sure.
But anyways, I'm just saying you need to listen. I got the state right. All right. I mean, that's 50%. And I feel like that's pretty.
Hey, there's another banner you can hang, homie.
Don't try too hard.
Banner number 9's coming. It just ain't this year.
Banner R9 got hung, and it was Kentucky women's volleyball.
Preseason win was banner number 9. This would be number 10.
No,
We got the
Kentucky
state
women's volleyball. They hung their
SEC
ninth
champs,
banner.
and then lost in the national championship game.
Oh, I know that was bad. That was rough.
The second worst thing to ever happen to Dalton Connect was to get drafted by the Lakers. The worst thing that ever happened to Dalton Connect is when that trade fell through to Charlotte. And LaMelo Ball, they may lose and still may be shitty, but buddy, they would put on a show nightly. It would have been must see TV.
Yeah, the Lakers will be great again once LeBron retires and JJ can actually coach a basketball team instead of a player. That's definitely a different show. Are we done with basketball? Can we talk transfer portal, or do we still want to go on? Because I got nothing else to say about how terrible Tennessee and Louisville basketball is.
Well, all I know is, Rando, that there's 2 of us sitting here that hasn't lost to the other 2.
Yep.
So,
yeah.
We're the only ones that can say that.
That is true. Yep.
So we can talk basketball all you want.
You haven't lost to Tennessee yet.
Yet.
But you have lost Louisville.
Louisville has.
Yeah, we did.
And you lost to Louisville. So what I'm seeing is
if we're doing the math, the math ain't mathing for Kentucky basketball right now.
Yeah.
That don't look good.
It don't. Mark Pope does have a good record against Tennessee. Go ahead, Selena.
Football.
As long as we got
The only thing I have to say is addressing lineups and whatnot. Pope needs to change his too. Like the starting lineup is not it. I don't know why he keeps starting them over and over again.
It's that analytics.
Not it. And okay, but here's the thing. They suck. Clearly, you can't read them. I don't know what I'm telling. And I got so frustrated today because his comments about that, like he was extremely short with everybody because people were asking him like why Lowe's not starting yet, right? Like why is this? Oh, we're looking at that every day. Then fucking change it. Like it's not working. Like what are we doing?
It's like they have to get permission to make a change to the lineup. Like who are you going to ask?
Yeah,
but I don't under.
It's like, oh well, tell us this, but they suck on the floor together. Like I'm sorry, but they do. Like you have a point guard on the bench that comes in, plays, and he can score. The offense flows so much better, and you don't play him until we're already down by 10+ points, huh?
Yeah.
Make it make sense. Please.
I just now I'm even more irritated because I just looked at about 4 or 5 different NBA draft boards, and only one of them has Nate Ament outside of the top 10.
Outside of the top 10?
Outside of the top 10, and the other one had him at like 13. Whatever. That's why I'm not an an NBA GM. I guess I don't know. I don't understand basketball. So Levitt.
Well, I don't know that any of them do outside of old boy in OKC. Let's go football. All right, so I just looked up, and apparently, go ahead, Selena.
She said football.
She ain't done.
No, I'm excited for football. I'm
okay,
excited. I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right. So transfer portal, it's full in effect. Here I have not seen a lot for Tennessee, so you guys will fill me in. I did see Waller to Louisville, which congratulations. Maybe he'll give you more than 4 snaps. I don't know that to be sure because his hamstrings are equivalent to 100-year-old rubber bands. So
they'll get 2 snaps, the left and the right.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
Very nice.
Oh,
I know we paid him, and I think he was a Vince Morrow product coming from. So it makes sense that he's going to Louisville. Maybe Vince can get something out of him, but I don't know. Louisville football from the outside looks like kind of a shit show. AB, you can kind of fill us in from that. Louisville, what have they landed? Is DJ Lagway still a guy you guys are pursuing heavily? What's the quarterback position? What's it look like going to happen when the transfer portal ends here?
Man, I thought it was going to be a lot louder than it was, but it's been pretty quiet, man. Outside of Waller, the one thing that did happen this week that is, it blew my mind. But I guess again we're in the NIL era. Is Isaac Brown has decided that he is going into the transfer portal, and we're losing Duke Watson, who was our number 1 back. He got hurt. He's been hurt pretty much the majority of the last 2 seasons. Still a good talent, but now we're down. We went from 2 sophomores and a junior that are we're a very good trio of backs to now we got Kewan Brown still, who again played very well filling in for Isaac Brown, but the depth chart is getting pretty thin there. As far as Lagway goes, man, I would rather have Raiola. We talked about this. I would rather have Raiola. For the year, maybe 2 that he has left in college football, because I think if it comes our way, I think we're looking at probably another one and done at the quarterback position for us, which I don't. That I think would maybe be the only thing that Lagway would give us if he did show up is a guy that we might get for 2 years, but he's just such a project that I don't want him around. He has not shown me enough, and again, Brom's a freaking quarterback whisperer, so if anybody could get him going, it'd be him. But I just don't think he fits well into the type of system that Brom runs. I think Raiola is a very easy plug and play into the system that we have going at Louisville, but Lagway just gives you athleticism, man. Like he's not the pocket passer that we like to go after or that Brom likes to coach. And that's what we've had for the last. If he goes
to Louisville, you better hope Vince Morrow turns him into a tight end because he sure as hell ain't playing quarterback.
Yeah. So, but yeah, man, I mean, I don't know. It is very surprising to me how quiet the transfer portal has been for us outside of the news again of Brown departing, because of the fact that Brom has been so active in the transfer portal the last couple of years. So, I don't know. We're early on into it. We're what, 2 days into it right now. Yeah, I don't want Lagway. I'll take Raiola. And then short of that, I don't really see anybody else that we go out and get, because I don't think we have the money to go out and get, the true big names. I don't think we're going to go after Levitt. I think that guy's going to get a boatload of money wherever he lands. I mean, dude, if y'all got the NIL money for it, great, but you need more than just a quarterback, brother.
No doubt. We got Arkansas's linebacker. Here's the bad news. Levitt, I think a lot of us felt good about him. He spent the day and a half in Lexington. He is now apparently on a plane to Tejas to visit Texas Tech.
Yep. If Texas Tech
and that oil money,
they're going to throw the house at Levitt.
And we lost Cutter Boley, which I feel kind of similar to T felt about Nate Ament. It was a lot of talent, a lot of ability. Him leaving now, I think more stings because he's a Lexington cat. But I think he could actually have been special with Stein as a dual threat guy. He showed some ability. But if you were going to upgrade and go get Levitt, concerning from the Liz Frank surgery, that's a tough injury to come back from, especially for a mobile quarterback. But the potential was there. I would still say it's an upgrade from Cutter Boley. Him heading to Texas, I don't know. Sorsby is now, I think, to LSU. So I don't know. I don't know what ends up turning up there. I do think there was a lot of time and a lot of money offered to Levitt. If we don't land him, that would kind of stink for the start of the Stein era. But we still
Just
have.
read Braden's comment.
Who's
Interesting. So brother Levitt
Who's he talking
says he's
about?
going to UK.
He's talking about
Okay.
Levitt.
Levitt.
Okay.
I mean, I'll take it. Maybe he's just visiting there, but I do know that there was an offer made. There was a counter offer by somebody, and then UK elevated their offer. So we're talking upwards of $4 million.
How much
So I
did y'all
will tell you,
pay Zach this past season?
1.5.
Whew, I
1.5.
think Juice has a pretty good point though. Just you dump all your money onto the quarterback, you can't put a squad around him.
Yeah, and he can't play defense.
Yeah.
So I will say that Stein does have a lot of scholarship roster spots to fill. I agree with you. I will say that I think you guys know from experience that dropping a lot of money on a quarterback can be good. It also can be detrimental to the program. Nico was evaluated at what 4.5 is what they thought that he got, or is that correct? Somewhere in that ballpark.
When?
I thought it was 8.
No, I don't think it was that high. I don't know what the number is. I know it was floated on X that he was getting $4 million when he was asking for a raise. So I don't know how true that is. But
He
that's,
was he had 2 million. 2 million.
Yeah,
a
I
year.
was tracking too.
Yeah.
okay.
He got $2 million a year, and then because that was what was so funny is after all the nonsense, he ends up taking a pay cut and going to California. And then we saw what happened there. So yeah, he was only getting. I say only shit. I'd take $2 million a year. But yeah, he only got $2 million.
That's what
He wanted $4.
Wow, that's big.
Yeah, tried to hold us hostage.
Levitt's visiting Tennessee. Oof. All right.
Man, I've been vocal about this. I've said this throughout the course of the season on my show. I've said it on Twitter. I think the dude is overrated.
Levitt.
Yes.
Really?
He's injury prone. He
Yes.
struggles throwing consistent down the field. He's reckless, which kind of contributes to that injury prone. And I don't go back and just watch game film. He's very inconsistent, and I think he's overrated. There's other quarterbacks in there that if I need a quarterback, I think it's a lot of fluff. I don't think he's legitimately the top quarterback in the portal.
So
And I've said that all year.
If you don't want, if you're not looking at Levitt, then I guess for y'all, then Hammer, who are you looking at?
Well, I don't think we need to go out and drop $3-4 million on a quarterback. I would, and T will have to help me with some names here, because he's got a guy that he really likes. But man, I'll be honest, I love the kid from Old Dominion, Colton Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
I think he'd be a great ad. And Jaden Craig, who was at Harvard of all places. Either one of those guys, I think we could get kind of on the cheap, and it would give competition to Faison for the position. And if Faison is what we think he is, he'll win that job.
Mm-hmm.
And then we have a veteran quarterback presence in the room, not a redshirt sophomore and nobody else. So we have to get a quarterback. We just we just can't sink $4 or $5 million into a quarterback. That's nonsense. We need defensive players. We need linemen, both sides of the ball, and we got to snag another running back. So I think we're going to get enough defensive players from Jim Knowles and company. I'm not as concerned about that, but we got to get some depth at linemen, and we need a running back. So I don't want to spend a bunch of money on a quarterback.
Yeah.
What's the chances of Joey getting his waiver approved?
That's a little bit outside of my wheelhouse. I haven't really followed that closely.
So
I don't know.
One of the shows on the Animal, they had a lawyer on. I think it was yesterday. I think it was Tyler and Will. I don't know, whichever one. But in the end, nobody knows. So my personal thought is he's got a leg to stand on, because the whole thing he's fighting for is that JUCO eligibility thing. So that the ruling is already there, but he's got to fight against. He's going to have to fight against the clock, because he doesn't have a whole lot of time. And then, he's just got to fight against the decision. But I think the JUCO ruling works for him. And he's
now,
got
how
a
does that
chance
make you
based off-
feel if he's awarded the waiver and he can come back next year and he's your starting quarterback? Y'all happy about it with an extra year in the Heupel system? You think he reached his peak?
No,
can he?
I would love it. I would love it. And I've been saying, and I tell him, we in Hendon Hook time was quarter so far and he was going bananas. That would give Joey his second year, and then now it just comes out that we find out that he played the whole year with a tumor in his bicep on his throwing arm. So that impacted his his physical ability too. So now we get a fully healthy Joey and a second year in the system and an off season with the team. It would be great. I'm not banking on it, but I would be all about it if it could happen.
I was about to say exactly what Juice just said, that I would rather, if we could get Joey back for year 2, I'd take him over anybody else that's out there.
Yeah.
Hands down.
The continuity piece, I mean, it just you don't see it anymore, but the continuity piece is, I think it's so underrated, especially now with this transfer portal freaking madness every year.
Yeah. A returning starting quarterback is gold in college football.
Yeah, so we got a group chat going. I'll just answer it. From what I've been told, our football budget will be $25-ish million for next year.
Yeah, okay. I mean, if y'all got it, go spend it. I did not know that y'all had that much.
Well, a lot of this is using the new rev share rule and whatnot. So there was reports last year at the end of the Stoops era that there was going to be a massive disparity between football and basketball. I think that has changed. I do think the NIL money now is going to favor football, which makes sense. You have a bigger roster to build. At the end of the Stoops era, we were okay with the 45% split going to Kentucky basketball because we were just done. 25 mil to go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
is that $25 million coming on a low interest loan from Mark Stoops? I'm just wondering where the money's coming from.
He already hooked us up. Hey, we deferred that money. Here's the thing: the Kentucky Athletics and NIL is a complete shit show right now with JMI.
Yep.
But the LLC created with Champions Blue helped us with the Stoops contract because we were able to – he agreed to extend it over some years, which makes sense for him tax-wise, and we were able to put it as a line item, and you can put that thing as a tax write-off for, like, retirements and whatnot. So it's going to help us out. So the LLC is actually helping us in that extent, but Mitch Barnhart has screwed us with the JMI deal. So it kind of counterbalances. It was just a great idea followed by a Mitch Barnhart terrible idea, but we'll see how that goes. We're not even going to get into where Kentucky basketball is next year. Like, this team already is questionable. We may not have a single soul coming back next year because of what Mitch Barnhart does with our NIL in basketball. But Yeah, so Levitt to Kentucky is questionable. We'll see. Selena, Willie Rodriguez was thought to be going into the portal because of that Houston kid coming from UTSA. He commits to Texas A&M. Trick play from San Francisco results in not a lot. So what do you think? I think Willie Rodriguez coming back next year is massive. I'd rather him than anybody else in the portal, especially in the Will Stein offense. I don't know that it's guaranteed he stays, but the fact that one cat goes to TAMU and Willie still has not entered the portal, I think is big.
I mean, I've been a Willie fan since he was a freshman. Like he has the tools to be really, really good. So I think it would behoove Stein and company to keep him. I hope, but yeah, I've been a fan of his since he was a freshman.
All in all, I do think the quarterback plays, but I don't agree with I don't disagree with the rest of the panel where the team as a whole, especially the trenches, the O-line, D-line has to be right. Selena, you and I, we got super excited. I got overly excited with my 10-2 prediction when we had 5-star quarterback Brock Vandegrift, right? And Brock Vandegrift's a stud. Brock Vandegrift's a stud. Unfortunately, his O-line was Swiss cheese and retired him from football. So it doesn't really matter who you have slinging the ball if they can't be protected. So I do want a great quarterback. I think it's a quarterback-driven league where you have to have a dude who can win you ball games. We just saw it in the Ole Miss Georgia game. They have a dude who could just straight out win them a football game. But you do need a complete football team. And if the money is $25 million, then you can drop 4 or 5 on a quarterback and still have a good team. If it's not, then you got to be smart. I do think there's a lot of donor backing behind Will Stein. I'll ask you this, Selena. I said in a group chat, and it was selfish to me, and I take it back instantly, but I was like, I kind of want Will Stein to get to the Natty and then lose, so he's super hungry when he comes to Kentucky. I then was like, well, I think Dan Lanning won a championship at Georgia, right? With Kirby.
Yes, I think he was on.
And then he went. And then he went to Oregon. And he had a good squad. I do think Oregon getting to a Natty and winning does a lot for Stein as he transitions from OC to head coach. And that's just a shitty thing for me to say. Like I shouldn't say he should get there to lose. So I want him to get a Natty. I'm hoping he picks. What do you think if Oregon, him being as an OC there? Are you hoping for their success all the way through the college football playoff, or do you like, hey, I want this thing to end so we can get this dude in Lexington, he can start building our team now?
I think you need him in
Lexington.
I
mean,
seriously.
Get him started. Get him on the road.
I think we need Lexington, but he's also doing double duty right now. Yeah. But here's my thing. So I don't know if you guys noticed this. Oregon. Well, never mind. They didn't have a bye, so that's a relevant point. But they looked ready to play versus a lot of other teams that not ready to play, right? So Will Stein is a very aggressive coach in person, so I don't think him losing or winning it will affect what he does in Lexington at all. Like, he knows what he's coming into, right? Like, he knows it's a shit show over here right now. Yeah. And he knows he has to build something.
Yeah,
he's going to be there sooner than later, though.
I mean, either way.
I'm going to tell you what. I watched Indiana in person the other day, and
they're
super good.
Those boys,
super good.
Mendoza didn't have to. He threw 2 passes legitimate. Like, I think I don't even want to look at. I'm not going to go look at stat line. He didn't throw that much.
I tweeted
and they
it.
just ran the ball.
14 of 16. They scored 38 points,
and he didn't need to. They could have ran the ball the whole damn game. They embarrassed Alabama. And absolutely dog walk them and were more physical. And that was my thing is I'm like, all right, well, let's see how they hold up against the SEC defense. Granted, Alabama's in a down year if you want to, obviously, but that team, holy shit, dude. Those boys are fast. They're big.
They're winning the championship. They are.
And Cignetti has got them playing.
Yep. Well, that's a good transition. We'll finish off with college football playoff. I text Hammer and I asked him, I said, okay, so I agree. I think IU's the real deal this year. I think they have a defense and offense. I think they can win the game however they need to. But Oregon's question last year was they got a great offense. Will Stein, Dan Lanning, they can put the offense together. Their defense is suspect. They came out and they stopped Texas Tech, made them look dumb. I asked Hammer, I said, hey, is Oregon's defense figured out or is Texas Tech inconsistent? Hammer, I think you said they're just inconsistent. I don't really have a lot of faith in Oregon's defense stopping Indiana. You agree with that? And then how does the rest of the panel feel? Like, can Oregon slug it out with Indiana to even keep it close, or do you think they get embarrassed and exposed like they did against Alabama? Start off, Hammer.
I think Indiana runs them. Because they went to Eugene, and had it not been for a pick six by Oregon, they wouldn't have scored a lot of points in that game.
Yeah.
And that's a cross-country trip. I know Bloomington to Eugene, Oregon is probably a good 3.5, 4 hour flight. And you think, oh, it's not a big deal. But, I mean, it matters. So, and they're going to have, they've got momentum. And I know Oregon looked really good, but Oregon is inconsistent. Keep in mind, this same Oregon team only beat Iowa by 3 in the regular season. It was 18-15 against Iowa. No offense, Iowa, against Iowa. This is a whole different set of I's and U's that they're going to be taking on. And they've already had a taste. They've already lost to them. And I think Cignetti's death stare is worth 10 points in this game.
That dude, I'm telling you what, that dude walking up and down the sideline, they were up at, I think it was after they scored to go up like 24-0, I think, or 24-3, whatever it was at the time. And when I tell you, and they just, I mean, they right down the field, no problems, nothing. And he is up and down the sideline, cussing into the headset, screaming at people on the sideline. I'm like, brother, you are demolishing these dudes right now, and he just does not ever turn it off.
Well, he was coaching the guys dumping the Gatorade on him. I mean, that's just who he is, man.
Yeah.
So, and this Bama defense is actually pretty good. They came on towards the end of the season, and actually is the reason they even got into the place they're in, because that offense has been broken the past 2 months.
Yeah.
So
if Indiana can run it for 200 yards a game, and they got Mendoza back there chucking it around, and then they got Surratt out there, who I learned apparently his nickname is Waffle House because he's open 24/7.
Yeah.
But those dudes, I'm telling you, like if they're going to run the ball for 150, 200 yards a game, you have zero chance of beating that team. None whatsoever.
And as much as we talk about Mendoza and the offense and all that, man,
the defense,
this defense is crazy good.
They are ridiculous.
And Dante Moore is going to have some problems.
Yep.
With because isn't one of their receivers out?
I don't know. Oregon, I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly don't know, but I do think the vulnerability. I agree with you, Hammer, is Dante Moore. While he's projected to be a first-round guy, I think he's a good college quarterback. I don't think he translates to the NFL, and I think he can get exposed.
This is a weak quarterback class too, so there'll be some guys going to be overvaluated again, like they were last year.
Yep.
Which Tyler Shugg maybe accepted.
5 wins, baby.
I know, man.
5 wins.
And if he's not rookie of the year, then I think there's an injustice. But anyway, I digress.
To be fair, even from me, all 3 of us, when we were talking about the college football, the draft, we came on here and said like Shuck could be a dude, a sleeper, man. Like he should have been started over Spencer Rattler from the jump.
Yeah.
But everybody hated on him for that one miserable throw.
Yeah.
But we thought he was going to be good. He at least earned himself the starting job next year. Like the Saints need to go get them a quarterback.
Yeah, I think they can get him some offensive line pieces. I mean, just look. I know we're way off topic here. I'm sorry, but look what Chicago did. Like their offensive line was hot dog water last year, and Caleb Williams got absolutely murdered.
Yep.
They brought in a couple veterans. They drafted a couple guys in the mid rounds, and they shored up that offensive line. And now look what's happened.
Mm-hmm.
If
they're a problem,
if the Saints can do that same thing, if they can shore up that offensive line,
yep,
we could be talking about them being the turnaround team and winning the division next year, like the Patriots. So anyway, sorry.
No, man, you're 100% correct. It's unfortunately, my Dolphins are just going to suck forever because while they've gotten rid of Tua, they're still going to have Mike McDaniel and capri pants on the sideline, just not going to get it done. But
do you think that was his get out of jail free card, was benching Tua so he could? Man, I didn't have a quarterback. Can't fire me now. You think he bought himself a year?
I think the winning with Quinn Ewers bought himself some time, unfortunately. But
he's a damn idiot.
It's not going to matter. He's just not a leader of men. I mean, you got it. I would take old boy from the Jets over just because I think he's a better all around football coach. Mike McDaniel is McDaniels in the Patriot land right now. Like, great OC. He can win you ball games on the offensive side of the ball. He just can't coach. He can't head coach. He can't do all the things you need him to do. He's not a leader. It's whatever. It was cute when we were scoring a bunch of points, and then you go back and look at it and go, oh, we were just beating up on sub 500 teams, and when we actually had to play someone that mattered, we were asked. The only team that we actually can't beat that was impressive was that 24-point comeback against the Ravens in Miami.
Yeah,
we had 4 wins against the Bills, in the heat. But again, it's just like, God, we suck. Tua sucks.
Yeah, we went left on that.
Everything you just said about schedule and playing teams, blah, 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 you can ditto that for New England this year. They played the easiest schedule in the NFL. They've only beaten 2 teams with a winning record. It's when they get in the playoffs.
I do think Drake May's good. I do think Drake May is good.
Drake May is good.
Drake May's definitely good. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But it's a different world when you get into the playoffs. And I predicted them to go over. 7.5 was their win total at the beginning of the season. I projected them to go over. And because Buffalo was the only team in the NFL preseason to have minus odds to win the division, I threw $10 on New England to win the division. So I'm not hating on them. I'm just saying when the clock turns to playoff time,
we'll find out.
This team is going to have some issues.
Yeah, it'll be dependent on how good Henderson is, right? Because I think he needs to be their starting running back. How good is that run game?
I hate running back by committee.
Yeah,
I hate it. I'm fine with spelling somebody, but anytime, and this happened just a couple of weeks ago, when Ramondre Stevenson comes out, breaks the huddle as for the first snap of the game, that's crazy.
Yes.
That's absolutely nuts.
Oh, well, we shall see how it goes. So we got halftime right now with your Niners, 10-3. Your boy's going to be able to pull it off before we end this thing out? Get the number one. This is for number 1 seed, right?
Yeah, this is for the division, the number 1 seed, the first round bye. And if the Niners don't win this game, they fall to number 6, which is insane. But
yeah,
that's what it is. So I don't know, man. I'm hoping Sam Darnold starts seeing those ghosts that he sees in big games. But we're just so decimated with
injuries killing y'all.
It's been I'll be honest, if he doesn't get Coach of the Year for the job he's done with all the injuries they've had, then I don't know what to say.
Yeah, I think going back to the Patriots, if they win the division, they do what they need to do, close this thing out against my Dolphins. I think that ends up going to Vrabel because of the turnaround. We shall see. Maybe even goes to Chicago. Oh boy, that's probably the better bet. I'm not sure what the odds are, but between those two, what he did in Chicago is pretty impressive as well. But we'll wrap this thing up. Let's do college football championship. Who do you think the winner is? And whatever parting take you want. I'll go first. I do think it's going to be Indiana. I think Cignetti is put himself on the hierarchy of coaching and what he can do coming to Indiana and taking them from irrelevant since the 50s and actually turn them into a football program. He is he's an impressive dude, and he had a roster last year that won a bunch of games but couldn't get it done in the playoff, and then completely flipped it around and has probably the most dominant team in college football right now. So I think he gets a win.
Who are they going to beat for it?
Ole Miss.
I was just ready to say, I think Ole Miss is. I think they're on just like a special track, man. They're beating Georgia, so I think they beat Miami. I'm waiting for the game that Carson Beck just completely folds. It's coming, and I think it's going to be against Ole Miss. And I do think Georgia upgraded with Gunnar Stockton from Carson Beck. So now can Miami's defense continue to play well and make Chambliss look, subpar? We'll see. But I do think Ole Miss is on a track right now. And if you can beat Kirby Smart, I think that's impressive. So I think it'd be Indiana, Ole Miss, and with IU getting it done there. Yeah, AB, what you think?
Sorry, I'm getting requests for dinner out here right now.
It's almost that time.
Yeah, it's almost that time. Dude, I think it's IU. I think it's IU, Ole Miss. I think Ole Miss. I'm not going to say they're going to dog walk Miami because I think Miami also is by some miracle of God hanging around and playing closer games than they should be. But yeah, I don't see them keeping up with Ole Miss on the offensive side of the ball. And I think just IU's too good, man. Like I said, watch them in person. I think from the coaching to the play, they've got it all. They are the most complete team, and I do not think it's close. So it would have to take something drastic for them to not end up winning the national championship this year.
Sass, what you think?
I mean, there's no one's going to beat Indiana. I'm sorry. Like as Brent said, the best game's probably going to be Oregon versus Indiana in the semis. That's going to be the best game.
Yep.
I mean, anybody else that plays Indiana, they're going to get beat by 30 or 40 points. Like, they're so freaking good.
Yeah.
Like, it's ridiculous how good they are. And Cignetti is, as long as he stays there, if they paid him to, he's gonna create a dynasty in Indiana. Like, he's going to. They're going to be a powerhouse because he's like a young Saban. He never lets up, but he wants more and more and more. And as you notice, they're the only team that bye that actually came out and played and looked like ready to play. He had the boys ready to go from the jump. Every other team had a bye. I think they lost.
Yep, they are the first team with a bye to win in the college football playoff.
Yep.
Yeah, so he's a different breed of coach. And no one's beating them. I'm sorry, no one's beating them.
Yeah, they look like a tough out. I agree. Everything stays the same, and Indiana's going to win. T, who's your win? Who's your college football champion at the end of the day? Nope.
T.
Okay.
And Braden's been on it with some hits. And so one thing that people keep talking about is how IU is winning with, no 5 stars, no 4 stars, a bunch of 1, 2, 3, no stars, all that. They're also like the oldest team in the country or something. So I think that really matters. You got a bunch of 24, 25-year-olds playing against a bunch of 18 to 22-year-olds. So, yeah, I think nobody. And Cignetti is an outstanding coach. So, yeah. Give me IU.
What about Ole Miss, Miami? Who wins that game?
I think Ole Miss wins.
Okay, we're even there.
And
what you got?
I think what you said about Beck is spot on. He'll see ghosts in the vein of Sam Darnold, I think, soon.
Close us out, Hammer.
Well, Indiana's going to win the national championship game.
Yeah.
But the second best defense this college playoff, not named, or the best defense not named Indiana, is Miami. And Chambliss put himself on the map for anybody that didn't know who he was and what a story he is. But this Miami defense is better than Georgia. So I think Miami gets them. But short of the 2019 LSU Tigers, there ain't nobody beating this Indiana team.
Yep.
They're as complete.
They're too good.
I think I've seen in quite some time.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't disagree with your Miami Georgia take because Georgia, their cornerback play has just been not good, and it's plagued them for the last couple of years. But like Everett is their top guy, and he's just not good. He's just not good. He gives up on plays, like he makes splash plays here and there. Here, it kind of reminds me of like Trayvon Diggs with his first couple of years in Dallas. Like he'll get burnt, but then all of a sudden he make a splash play and everybody forgets about everything he did previously. So we all got Indiana. I think it's gonna be Indiana Ole Miss. I think Hammer's the only one that's got Indiana, Miami relying on the defense, and I will say Hammer's the only one that actually uses numbers. I think in this podcast,
yeah, we're all just gut feeling over here. Yeah,
we're playing in the moment. But yeah, my parting take is Kentucky Wildcat basketball cannot lose a game until we go to Knoxville. These next three we have to win. If you lose any of them, I start questioning our ability to get to the tournament. You can't beat teams that are at the bottom end of the SEC. You certainly aren't going to string together a bunch of wins at the top end, and there's a good chance we go 0-2 at the end of January against Vanderbilt and Arkansas, both on the road, back-to-back games where you got to travel. You have to go undefeated up until you go to Knoxville. You can split the games against Tennessee home and away. I think you'll be okay. And if you do go to Knoxville with the win streak, a 3-game win streak, maybe you can pull off an upset there. But I do know you cannot drop any of these games. The only game you have on the road is against LSU, and they aren't a good basketball team. We lose one of these games, I'm in full panic mode. I'm not there yet, but I'm real close. Go win these next three, and we'll see where we go. Alex Black, your parting take is Louisville sucks and Mikael Brown is going to be in the NBA draft next, or what?
Yeah, that's pretty close. Okay. So yeah, my parting take is he needs to play Tuesday. If he doesn't play Tuesday, there's going to be a lot of questions that get asked. And also we have to figure out how to score in the paint and not just be a volume shooting 3 team, because that is not a recipe for success on the road or in the NCAA tournament. So I need Pat Kelsey to, number one, get Mikael Brown back healthy. And then I honestly, as much as you're going to, laugh at this statement, I want more freaking Ali Khalifa in a pick and roll with whoever we're playing point guard, because I don't care what you say about him. He ain't good on defense. I know that. He's not giving me rebounds, but boy, when he runs a pick and roll, can that dude freaking pass? And good things happen when you put him on the offensive side of the ball. So he needs to be spelled more on the offensive side of the ball, and we got to drive the damn ball to win basketball games.
I don't disagree. Just get your auction machine ready, because Chubby just can't put that many minutes on the court.
Parting shot. Parting shot. No, stop the debate. Parting shots.
Hey, T's like, I got to go to bed, man. Give me to sleep.
Yeah.
Selena, parting shot.
Yo,
parting take.
Parting shot.
Whatever you want to call it.
Parting shot? Okay.
You don't have to take a physical shot. I mean, you can, but you don't have to. What is your take to end this show?
So AB said he wants to stop. He wants to figure out a score like inside the paint. Can we just figure out a score? Period. Oh my god! Can we just score? Period. Like paint 3-pointers. I'm not picky. I just need points on the board.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Yeah.
And that'd be pretty funny.
Put Colin Taylor on the bench. T, what you got?
Oh God.
Play JP Estrella more. Go get some safeties, some cornerbacks, and some D linemen in the portal.
That's like 4 takes.
Yeah, but it was shorter than both of ours.
Exactly.
Good point.
Shots.
All right, drop the hammer.
I gave you a basketball and a football.
Drop the hammer. Parting shot, and I need a winner. Give me a winner.
Well, I know Christmas is past, but we need Santa to bring us a safety and some linemen to Knoxville. We better learn how to shoot free throws. We need to change up our lineup, and we are going to be 2-0 against the state of Kentucky come January 18th. You said you wanted a winner.
There we go.
You're not allowed to say
Parting
anything.
shot. Don't debate
You're not
it.
allowed to say anything.
Don't debate
It's
it.
over.
Don't
Battle
debate
of
it.
the mid.
That's bull, but whatever. We have to end the show because T is damn near about to fall asleep. It is dinner time out here in California.
Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate everybody watching us. This is definitely the longest show we've had. We had a lot to talk about coming completely defeated
In 2 weeks.
at the start of the 2026. Yeah, we've been off for a long time.
Yeah.
So we'll get one in probably Thursday. We've been doing shows Thursday. We'll figure it out. Wednesday, Thursday, we'll get one in, and then another happy hour show next week. Go follow us, AllUKBall. AB doesn't have a Twitter, so he can go to hell. Selena at KYSass_, at T_step30, at Hammer makes it easy for me, at Irish_Hammer under 71. That may or may not be his birth year. Also go to YouTube, drop the hammer. He's giving out winners, cash in. He made me $300 over the holiday lead block. So I appreciate that. Helped me out. And then as always, you see me and T rocking the State Line code, AllUKBall 25, gets you 25% off. Alex Black doesn't have his because, again, he sucks. But it doesn't really matter. Go Cats. Peace.
He doesn't have a bald head. You got to cover up like I do. So
Yeah.
all right, go
We
be
out.
going.